Crops dying, earthquakes, floods. The economy collapsed because of all those natural disasters. But a lot of the blame went to mutants, Homo superior. Some call them the next stage in human evolution. Others, a threat to our very existence.
But Charles Xavier is dead. Struck down when he and Magneto faced the menace called Bastion.
Magneto has not been seen since the Bastion incident.
Your genes don't decide your destiny. You do. We all do.
Yo guys, how's it going? Jogan here from the Crave Crew, and today I got my full review of X-Men Destiny. Now, I will be repeating some things from my first impressions just in case you didn't see that video, but obviously I'll be adding some more. So, first thing I have to say, my expectations were so wrong. The style of the levels did not change at all. Every single level is pretty much linear and straightforward without that much to explore. After playing through just the first few levels, both being good and being evil, not much of the story was really different. The choices you made up to that point didn't really affect the story at all. Maybe 1 or 2 missions would have been different, but that's it. And that was one of the things I was really hoping would change. Unfortunately, it didn't. Even until the very end of the game, the story is pretty much the same no matter which side you choose. Now the story wasn't really that bad, but it's just not the kind of story needed to make a game an RPG. The story is also pretty short. I think it took me 5-6 hours at the most to beat it, and that's with exploring every area I could find. So the gameplay is pretty repetitive. All you really do is just run through the level, fight a mob of enemies, run through a little more, fight another mob, and yeah, that just keeps going on. The only variation to this is really when you find a challenge arena, which for the most part is just more of the same. Kill this many people in this amount of time. Every now and then you will find one that's a little bit of a different goal than just killing so many people. You'll get maybe destroy all of the boxes or in the level or something like that. One of the ones I remember is defeat more enemies than Wolverine. Besides that, this is probably one of the most repetitive games I've ever played. Now there are really, I think, only 3 things about this game that I liked. The first is the fact that they created 3 brand new characters for you to choose from. As I said in my other video, this gave the game the potential to have a great storyline, since there was nothing for the writers to follow. But it fell very short of my expectations. The second thing I liked was the system of choosing and customizing your powers. Now the first choice you make in the game is you choose your main power set. Then as you progress throughout the game, there's more of similar moments where you get to choose a new power. Most of the time this will consist of 2 choices, except the last one, which you only have 1 choice. This is really the only part that gives the game any replay value at all. The only reason to play through it a second time would be just to see what the other powers are like. And then you can also find these things called X genes, which are scattered throughout the world, or you also get them as a reward for beating challenges. Then you can use these X genes to give your character secondary powers, which are based on powers of other mutants in the game. The X genes are split into 3 categories. You have an offensive, a defensive, and a utility gene. Now if you find all 3 X genes of one character in that character's suit as well, you can use something called X mode, which just depending on the character you're copying, I guess, makes your character stronger, it gives you a different power. It's not really that great. And then the last thing I liked was the characters in the game. As you'd expect, the game had all of the popular mutants that just about anyone will recognize, such as Cyclops, Magneto. The game also had a lot of mutants that only the most devoted fans would know, such as Caliban and Surge. So I really like the diversity of characters. To wrap this up, I do not classify X-Men Destiny as an RPG. It is far from achieving that goal. It did have a lot of potential, but the execution is just so bad. So I have to give X-Men Destiny a 6 out of 10. This is a game for a rainy day. Stay tuned, guys. We got a big month coming up. So many games coming out. This is Jogan from the Crave Crew. We got what you crave.